Hey, good morning and welcome to today's verse. Today's verse comes to us from the book of James, James chapter 1 verse 27. And let me read that for you. Pure and undefiled religion before God and the Father is this, to visit orphans and widows in their trouble and to keep oneself unspotted from the world. James gives us an example of what pure religion looks like. Pure religion is so much more than just simple talk. It's more than the things that we say. This verse really, it expounds on the previous verse where one would consider himself to be righteous based upon the things that he says. And notice what it says in verse 26. It says that if anyone among you thinks he is religious, that is, that he is acceptable before God, and does not bridle his tongue, but deceives his own heart, this one's religion is useless. If you do not even attempt to bridle your tongue, you just speak in any manner that you desire that would not be pleasing to God, that you would be somewhat of an obnoxious person, that you would be an argumentative person, that you would be given to gossip, that you would be given to slander and those things, that you do not bridle your tongue, then you deceive your own heart, and this person's religion is useless. That is, that your testimony before man is absolutely useless. But in the eyes of God, he gives us an example. So what pure religion looks like, it is carried out in meeting the needs, meeting and providing for those that are in need, such as an example here of orphans and widows, those that are fatherless, motherless, those that do not have the support of a husband or a family, a near relative to provide for them. Is to visit them, not just to go and sit beside them as Job's friends did, but rather to go and to provide for their needs. Because what is shown here is really an outward expression of an inward reality. That is, that when you have given your life to God, then you have the love of God in your heart. Not only do you love God, but you love people. And to love people is to care for people and to provide for their needs. So one thing that we see that defines what pure religion looks like is our meeting and caring for those that are in need. And secondly, notice that he says here, is also is to keep oneself unspotted from the world. Keep oneself, do not be given into the things of this world. Yes, we live in this world, but we're not to be of the world, that we're not to be given into the corrupt and the immorality of this world, that we're not to be given to false religion and false practices, that we're not to be given into the lust of the eye, the lust of the flesh, or the pride of life. For these things, it really give room for temptation to come into our lives. But our desire is to live holy and righteous in this world by demonstrating a life that is pleasing and acceptable before God our Father. And my prayer today as you go throughout this day that you would meditate upon this verse and remember that it is not necessarily to other people that our desire is to please, as much as it is to be acceptable in the eyes of God our Father. To God be the glory for the great things he has done. I pray that you would have a wonderful day. Amen.